Hi, my name is Shanti Sivaraj. I'm the founder of Om Shanti Foundation. I was born in Sri Lanka in a very small remote town, and my family had 7 children. I was the third child. So very small days, young age, I saw poverty, and money is very tough. And I went to a government school, that's a state school. I was boarded in a very far from home. At the very young age, I see that money is important, and we didn't have any choice. We didn't have any luxury stuff, no cars. We have to go in bus and walk 5 to 7 kilometers. Though I went to school, I couldn't focus and I couldn't study well. So I did not end up in university or doing medicine or any other profession. I was under a lot of pressure. I want to make it happen. I always had a desire to do well. I applied for a job in a very small hotel 200 kilometers away from Colombo, and I got the job as a room boy. So in the hotel, I started learning. My vocabulary was limited. I started learning English, spoken English, and I started getting promoted faster and faster, and I became a waiter, then I became a manager. So every night I used to go in the beach. It's a beach resort, a small hotel. I'd sit down and dream. I was a dreamer. I always dreamed, I want to have that, I want to have this, I want to move forward. Finally, I migrated to Australia. So I came with $200 in my pocket to Australia. It is tough, and that money was not mine. I have to borrow from my mother and mother-in-law, and they didn't have that money either. They have to pawn their chains or bangles and rings. They gave it to me. That was the beginning in Australia. So charities like Vincent de Paul, all the other charities gave me a bit of a help there, stuff for us to start life here. I started working in a fast food chain, worked very hard. I started moving up and became the restaurant manager of the highest volume restaurant in the country, then highest paid store manager in the system. So I realized I got more, so I started dreaming more. Now I am an owner-operator for 6 franchisee stores in Australia. In the past, I was donating and contributing to other charities around me, and I was not too sure how much money go to those people who needs the help. In particularly with Om Shanti Foundation, if you give $1, the whole dollar go to those people needed. Giving back makes me so happy. So that's how Om Shanti Foundation was formed.
My brother and I grew up in an environment where we had access to a lot of things. Our parents worked really hard to give us a really good life, and we never really lacked anything. When we first went and visited Jaffna and got to see the way people lived, we truly realised how blessed we were in our lives in Australia. The imbalances in Sri Lanka were so evident. Access to clean water, food and education were simple things that we took for granted back in our Western society. When our dad asked us to be a part of this amazing cause, we said a strong yes, as we feel it's our responsibility to help and give back as much as possible. We believe that all humans have limitless potential, but sometimes they can be bounded by their resources, opportunities and environment.
So why microfinancing? Microfinancing involves extending small loans, grants or resources to those that don't have access to capital. It's a key strategy in helping people living in poverty to become more financially independent through the creation of their own micro business, which in turn helps them become more resilient and better able to provide for their families. Considering nearly half the world survives on less than $2 a day, this is seen as a very promising solution. Banks won't generally extend loans to those who have little or no assets, and they usually don't engage in very small loans either. Through microfinancing, families are less likely to pull their kids out of school due to finances. It can also lead to improved health through giving families access to better sanitation, healthcare, and clean water. Microbusinesses allow individuals to work for themselves rather than having money given directly to them, where they may not know how to effectively use it. At Om Shanti, we do not provide loans and expect a repayment back, but instead we provide individual grants in the form of resources to allow families to earn a regular income. These resources include cows, chickens, and goats. We check up on the families and support them for a period of time until they are able to live and thrive without us. We believe that this is an amazing opportunity that builds confidence to empower individuals to create a sustainable income and the kickstart to get them out of the cycle of poverty. How are you helping? When you donate to the Om Shanti Foundation, every cent of the money you donate goes directly towards resources and essential items to help families live greater and more fulfilling lives.